Hey, how yous going today? Mick from Rock 8 Records. It's been a couple of days since I've done a video, so I thought I'd better do one. I haven't been slacking off. We've been really busy here at the shop. Upstairs 175 Sturt Street, Townsville City. www.rock8records.com. That's the website. And we've got links on Instagram, Facebook and all that to the shop and to the shop store. So this afternoon's been a little bit quiet, so what I've done is I've been putting shitloads and shitloads of records onto the online store. So yeah, check it out if you want to have a look, or don't. I don't care. But I do care about this. Today, I've thought outside the box, and if you look behind me there's some Hollywood-looking stuff. So we've got heaps of soundtracks here on LP at Rock 8 Records, so I thought, why not? I'll show you a heap of the soundtracks and some Hollywood type stuff and horror soundtracks and things like that. So let's get straight into this. I've got a good stack here, so I'll give a little spiel on each one, I guess, of what I might know, what I do know. Claudio Simonetti's Goblin. So this is basically old Italian horror music. So this band here, Goblin, check them out. Get on Spotify and check out Goblin, not Goblin. Basically, this one's called the Murder Collection, and yeah, it's basically songs off the movies Suspiria, Roller. There's like Zombie, so it's like all these cool tracks, and a lot of them you might hear these and go, you know what that sounds really familiar. Just move a bit closer to you, that's better. Yeah, because you'll hear it and go, I remember this sound, and it's all really cool old school horror music, because the Italians not only did like spaghetti westerns in the 70s and 80s. They did a heap of horror too, and they're really cool. They're old horror movies. So that's that one. This next one, this is from Waxwork Records. This is the Evil Dead 2 soundtrack. Same to you, mate. Same to you. So this one here is awesome. It's double yellow vinyl. So these guys, Waxwork Records, they hand press all their records, and you can get on Instagram and actually watch them pressing records, and it's awesome to watch. It's really fascinating. It still fascinates me to this day, watching vinyl get made and watching vinyl actually play on the turntable. It's just like, I'm like, how does it work? I still doesn't compute with my simple ape brain. But yeah, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. This one here, this bloke reminds me of, I think he works at my local Bottle-O. This is The Hills Have Eyes. So The Hills Have Eyes around Townsville in some places, I can tell you right now. But yeah, this movie's a classic, an all-time classic. Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. So this is the original soundtrack to that. Beautiful. Moving right along. This is a cool movie. This is David Lynch's Lost Highway soundtrack. So I had Patricia Arquette, and I forget that dude's name. And Trent Reznor actually does the music to this. So there's Trent Reznor, there's Marilyn Manson songs on it, there's David Bowie on it, Lou Reed, what else have we got? Rammstein. So it's a really cool soundtrack, and this is also done by Waxworks Records, and I'm pretty sure it's on coloured vinyl. Even Smashing Pumpkins are on here as well. So it's got 2 LP coloured vinyl and a 12x12 printed insert. So yeah, Lost Highway, cool movie. David Lynch movies are just next level, over your head type stuff. I like simple, silly Hollywood movies, and this is definitely one of them. Beetlejuice. So this is the Beetlejuice. This is the latest version of it, done by Waxwork Records again. So I've got a heap of Waxwork Records in here. This is very famous music by Danny Elfman. He's probably the greatest composer of Hollywood music, especially stuff like this. So yeah, this is awesome. This is on coloured vinyl too. I've actually got one of these. And yeah, really cool. I'm just having a look here. Exciting. This one here, my God. The Game of Thrones soundtrack. So myself and my lovely wifey Tegan are watching this again at the moment. And yeah, the music's awesome off this. So if you want to dance around to your house in your hoods and swords and stuff like that, Game of Thrones soundtrack on vinyl. It's nice and chunky too. I really like this. And yeah, we're kind of middle of the way through it again. I haven't watched it for years, and I don't remember it being such a good show. It's an awesome show, and the soundtrack's awesome too. And yeah, haven't read the books. Not that smart. But apparently the books are really good too. Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is an all-time classic. It's been reissued on red vinyl. This thing's been bandied. Like, I get so many copies through secondhand. They're sort of starting to dwindle. There's not as many of these around anymore on the secondhand side of things. So it's cool that they've reissued it. And it's super popular. Still popular this day. Teenagers and young people coming in and buying this non-stop on red vinyl. Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's the American original soundtrack. So yeah, this is probably one of my all-time favourite movies ever. Brandon Lee, The Crow. So this has probably got one of the best soundtracks ever to a movie. It's got The Cure, Stone Temple Pilots, Nine Inch Nails, Rage Against the Machine, Violent Femmes, Rollins Band, Pantera do a version of The Badge, which is an old Poison Ideas song. It's just awesome. It's like something for everyone on this album, actually. You know, like, so The Crow, still hugely popular to this day, and I can see why. It's probably, I'd say, one of the best soundtracks ever, in my humble opinion. This is a Rob Zombie movie, The Lords of Salem. I love Rob Zombie's movies, and this movie's really cool. I like it. I really enjoyed it. His wife plays the main character in it, Sherry Moon. It's on 180 gram vinyl. It's got heaps of bonus stuff in it as well. Waxwork Records have done a really awesome job with this one. They did a House of a Thousand Corpses as well, and they've done heaps of Rob Zombie's movies. The House of a Thousand Corpses soundtrack on Waxwork Records is actually worth quite a bit of money nowadays, so if you got one, hang on to it. Or give it to me. Either or. This is the Tron Legacy soundtrack. So this is entirely done by Daft Punk. So very funky stuff for the Tron Legacy movie. It's done by Disney. Bit of a shame that, but hey, whatever. It's a cool soundtrack, and Daft Punk have done a really good job with it. But yeah, and it's a double vinyl, nice and thick. The reason I said such a shame about Disney, because it seems to be whatever they put their hands on, they wreck these days. So yeah, for such a beloved company in the 1970s, they're very hated nowadays. Fuck Disney. All right, Goosebumps. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, mate. Jack Black. What a cool movie. This is the original motion picture soundtrack by Danny Elfman. So yeah, it's really cool. It's a really fun movie if you haven't seen it. And I'm pretty sure this is on purple vinyl or something. It's on coloured vinyl. I think it's purple. And there's a mask. This is called Haunted Mask variant. I don't know what that means. But yeah, Goosebumps soundtrack. Original motion picture soundtrack, Black Phone. This movie creeped me out. This is just a creepy ass movie, eh? It was very, very good. Very well done. Ethan Hawke in this is just fucking unbelievably good. So yeah, this is also done on Waxworks Records. So nice, thick, hand-pressed vinyl. Come and get it. Black Phone. This soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks from the 90s. It was just awesome. Judgment Night. So yeah, it was basically hip-hop artists with heavy metal or independent rock artists making songs together. House of Pain and Helmet, De La Soul and Teenage Fan Club, Ice-T and Slayer, they do an awesome song together on it. Cypress Hill do a couple of songs on it. Onyx and Biohazard. So yeah, pretty shitty movie, but the soundtrack's fucking great. Really good. Dennis Leary was the star of this. Emilio Estevez was in it. It's not bad, but it's okay. It's an okay movie. Soundtrack is killer. Killer. Judgment Night. It's one of my favourite soundtracks. So this is a great movie. This movie is so good. The Lost Boys soundtrack and In Excess and Jimmy Barnes, Lou Gramm, Roger Daltrey, Echo and the Bunnymen. It's a really, really cool soundtrack. And the saxophone guy's on it too, so you can't beat it. The Lost Boys. Absolute Hollywood classic. It's on red vinyl as well, so it's a very nicely presented little record there. This movie was just brilliant. This movie blew me away when I saw it. How good it was. Almost Famous. Such a really good movie. And it was kind of realistic too, like about, it was a Rolling Stone writer who went and joined a band and did some gonzo journalism and hung out with a band to do a story on him. But he was only like a young teenager, so really, really cool movie this. Set in the 70s. Soundtrack is fantastic. Such good music. So yeah, Simon and Garfunkel, Todd Rundgren, yes, the Beach Boys, Rod Stewart, Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, Led Zeppelin, Elton John. Awesome 70s soundtrack. It's like, and the movie was just brilliant. And I'm sure it did get Academy Awards or something. I remember it being an absolutely huge movie. This is a weird movie. The music's by Neil Young, and it's the Dead Man soundtrack. It's a cool movie. It's done in black and white. Johnny Depp's on it. It's a Jim Jarmusch movie, and it's a very sort of like an art nouveau type movie, or if I don't know what you'd call it, avant-garde. But yeah, it's a cool movie, cool independent movie, and the soundtrack is pretty cool too. Music by Neil Young on the Dead Man soundtrack. If you haven't watched that movie, check it out. It's black and white, which is weird, but it's cool. Reservoir Dogs. Quentin Tarantino's first movie. This soundtrack was just killer. You know, Quentin Tarantino's music in his movies make the movies. It's just a perfect blend. So yeah, Little Green Bag by George Baker selection. Hooked on a Feeling. Magic Carpet Ride. My God. Let's Get a Taco. There's like spoken word dialogue in this as well. And Steelers Wheel with Stuck in the Middle with You. I'll never forget that scene. It kind of shocked me. His movies were shocking. When they first came out back in the day, you know, they were kind of shocking. When that dude's getting his ears cut off to Stuck in the Middle with You, it's like, wow, that's a different way of doing sort of mixing crime and horror movies. And this is his biggest ever movie, Pulp Fiction. Hasn't been topped. And the soundtrack to this is just brilliant. It's so good. Girl, you'll be a woman soon. By Urge Overkill, one of my favourite bands from the 90s. I love Urge Overkill. And there's just such cool music on here. Comanche. Like, what else? Bustin' Surfboards. There's heaps of weird surf music and stuff on it. Yeah, John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Harvey Keitel, Bruce Willis. The list goes on. Just full of A-listers. This was fucking one of the best movies ever. And it's not just me saying it. It's on IDMB. It's like in the top 10 of all time. But you have to be in the top 20. And this is Quentin Tarantino's, how he tried his hand at doing a bit of a weird horror movie, a vampire movie, From Dusk Till Dawn. This movie's fucking awesome too. I love this movie. So yeah, he actually plays a really sort of, not a cameo, he plays a major role in it. And George Clooney's in this as well. I wouldn't mind watching this again. I haven't seen it for years. From Dusk Till Dawn. Soundtrack's cool. It's got ZZ Top, The Blasters, Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Mavericks. So yeah, really cool soundtrack. Quentin Tarantino's soundtracks, I don't even need to spruik it. I don't even have to sell it. These things sell themselves. And they're very popular. The Kill Bill records are really popular too. I haven't got any at the moment. I normally do. But yeah, anytime I can get my hands on Quentin Tarantino's soundtracks, I do it. So yeah, well, that's it. That's the pile done. That's all my new soundtracks. I do have a few more around. And I've got a big, at least this thick soundtracks, secondhand stuff. So I've got all Saturday Night Fever, all the Grease ones, and what's the War of the Worlds, all that type of stuff I've got in the secondhand section here. So we've got a decent soundtrack section here at Rock 8 Records as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go home and put my feet up. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you can, like, subscribe, all that jazz, because it really helps if you subscribe. So if you're enjoying the videos and you're watching them and you haven't subscribed yet, could you please do it? Because yeah, it helps us out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And we're well on our way, I can tell you right now. And we've been popular. And g'day to everyone in America. I even got a message from someone from Puerto Rico. So there's people in Puerto Rico watching this ape in Townsville talk shit about music and records. How cool's that? So yeah, I'm really glad to be doing this YouTube channel. And I'll see you soon. Yeah, that's it. See yous.